Yo, what's poppin' gamers? WQ'd here. You already know what's good. You already know what's good, guys. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You become an alpha gamer, which is huge. And also make sure to like this video and you're gonna change your life. Now guys, also I'm selling these crazy t-shirts, and these t-shirts, my merchandise, it's going really insane. People are paying attention. People are freaking out. It's being a really big thing right now. But guys, first of all, I got some drink actually. This is pure 100% horse semen. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually pound this whole thing right now. We're gonna try to do it all in one drink. So yeah, let's crack that open and then let's just go for it. Let's just go for it. Dude, that's everything, dude. Yeah, that's everything. Fuck, that was powerful, dude. Wow. I've never actually done that before, so that's pretty intense. Yo, that was pretty fucking gnarly. I've never done anything like that before. But when you're an alpha gamer, guys, you go the distance and you accomplish your dreams. So guys, the Smash 5 Invitational that's happening at some point in the future, actually, they hosted a lot of real serious pro players. Those are the players they invited to Smash 5, which I'm shocked by because they always invite like meme players and then it's sort of a joke event. But it seems like they cared more about like professional players or good players. So they invited 4 Melee players and 4 Smash 4 players. And that's gonna be really interesting to watch them play Smash 5. Now it is day 1 release beta stuff, so it's gonna be pretty ghetto. But it's interesting because actually apparently they hosted some like celebrities too. So yeah, read this tweet, it's pretty interesting. She says, "To the folks acting like I took a pro player's earned spot, y'all know what invitational showcase means, right? We're gonna be the nerdy sideshow attraction, not the uber serious main event. Miss me with that misplaced tantrum." And then you have this guy Nell and Nat. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. "We've got a real Zelda at this tournament and people are still complaining SMH. Yeah, this guy's a white knight. And I seem like I'm looking through her retweets and they're all just a bunch of like white knight dudes that are like defending her. And I've seen recently there's a lot of garbage in fandoms. Good luck at the showcase. Like, come on, these are just white knighted. But yeah, I think this is pretty funny too, because she says we're gonna be the nerdy sideshow attraction. It's like, you do realize this is like gamers, pro gamers playing Smash 5. Like, you've seen who's going. I mean, this isn't like, you're not the nerdy sideshow attraction. You're like the normie that's being paid to make the game look more presentable to mainstream audience. Like, I think it's pretty lame of her. But yeah, I'm surprised she even tweeted that because I don't think anybody's even complaining about them being normal people going to make the event look less nerdy. So gamers, it's been an interesting week so far, but yesterday I was talking to a lot of people on my Discord and I was talking about how I actually posited that macro natural gameplay is in fact a red herring. It's not a real thing. Now the reason I said that is because of this thing called doubt, where if you doubt yourself, I believe you're gonna play worse if you doubt yourself. Now the reason I believe that is because it's the opposite of natural. It's anatural if you doubt yourself, because what happens is you can't make decisions because you're doubting yourself, and so that's why I think that doubt would actually make you play worse. And if that's true, then wondering whether macro natural gameplay is real or not and trying to pursue that would actually incur doubt, because I don't know what it is. So it actually would incur doubt, which would make me play worse. So that's what I think. So if doubt really did make you play worse and you either scrapped at macro natural gameplay or you ignored it or you dumped it, and what would that mean is that you would doubt yourself less and you would have less doubt, and then macro natural gameplay would be real. It actually would be real because if you played better by scrapping it, it would mean that macro natural gameplay actually would be real, because macro natural gameplay encompasses macro games. It encompasses something like doubt. It would apply or encompass doubt in itself. So that's a paradox, right? That's actually a paradox that's created. That's the same paradox I argued for about a year ago when I said the end game of macro natural gameplay is finding an answer to a problem. It means you stop trying, so therefore they really can't be an answer to a problem. For something such as macro game where you need to try, which means that macro natural gameplay can't exist, because macro natural gameplay would be an answer. It's an answer for a problem that can't have an answer, right? So it's this paradox. Well, it's the same paradox in reverse if you dump macro natural gameplay because of this thing called doubt. So you you generate the same paradox in reverse. Isn't that cool? Now, I actually do have other reasons I think doubt is actually making me play worse. Because when I played League of Legends in 2015, I played for 3 weeks. I got Diamond. This was after not playing the game for 2 years, and I got Diamond in 3 weeks. And I'm not making that up, I'm not exaggerating. The reason I did so well is I just play perfectly every single game. And the thing is, guys, I actually was not Diamond before. I was Plat 1 at 100 LP in 2013, and then in 2015 when I started playing again, I literally got Diamond, and actually went past Diamond. I got Diamond 4 a week later, and my MMR is like Diamond 2 or something, because I literally won like 40 games in a row, and then I had like a 60% win ratio after that, so I was winning, lose, I was like win, lose, win, but I literally won like 40 games in a row. But the reason is I had 100% conviction, and I had no doubt, and I really do think that, and this was before my ideas really started going crazy, and I started thinking more concretely, so that's just what I believed back then. It held over. I was only able to do that for a few months, and then I stopped doing it, which I would argue is an ego trap, is an ego thing, and it's possible why I was excelling, completely different reasons. But I think it was actually doubt, and I've never actually been able to recreate playing that good, because back then in 2015, I had a lot of motivation, and I was on some next level stuff. Like, this was really insane stuff. Except for early in May this year, I was actually able to recreate the same conviction I had back in 2015 for the first time in 2 years, and I only did it for like maybe half a second or maybe 1 second, but I was able to recreate it. And then over the next 2 weeks, I was able to play with more conviction. So in order for you to play with 100% conviction, it has to be authentic, for one. It has to be really authentic, and that's very difficult because all the time people try to convince themselves and lie to themselves, or they'll get specific results. They'll like try to get a result to substantiate a perceived skill level, right? That's just a fancy way of saying they're lying to themselves. And a problem is when someone's lying to themselves like that, it's like I can't really help them, I can't really do anything for them. They have to go out and fail and realize that they are lying to themselves. And then in order to fail, you have to actually try, because if you don't try and you lose, you don't necessarily fail, right? Because you weren't trying, so you, oh, I wasn't trying, I'll try next time, right? So it's like, you don't even really fail if you're not trying, even if you lose. The other thing about having doubt is that it's very reasonable to have doubt, and you can't just pretend all your problems are gonna go away and they're all gonna be solved and you have no issues in the world and everything's fine. It doesn't work like that. And a lot of people, gamers, I think a lot of gamers have doubts about their gaming. So I think having doubts is normal, and you can't just wish them away. But if doubts really are making a gamer play worse, then I do think trying to overcome these, trying to figure out why this stuff happens and how you can overcome this, it's gonna be a highly profitable decision. Because guess what, guys? We're still gaming, and we're still gonna game no matter what. And at the end of the day, I'm not doing something that's boring and doesn't scale. I'm gonna game because it's better. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go home and answer some interesting questions on my last video. Yo, what's up, gamers? WQ'd here, guys, and I just got home from an incredible, powerful video, and I wanted to respond to some comments and talk more about my thoughts on gameplay and gameplay stuff. So one of my great viewers, a real alpha gamer, he says, remix the term, he says, I'm confused by this because you say, don't use safe strats if you're nervous because you can't control your mentality. This is my last video. Yet in previous videos about natural gameplay, you talk about making deliberate gameplay decisions, such as safe strats, in order to make your gameplay more natural and consistent and reliable, so you don't distract yourself. So I don't actually remember saying don't use safe strats if you're nervous. I don't recall saying that. So either link me the highlight, but I think I said something similar. Now, what my thoughts on this are: don't use something, don't force yourself to do something if you don't believe in it. And a lot of times people don't believe in safe strats, so if you force yourself to use a safe strat, it's not gonna give you a good end result. And then, so let's talk about the second part where I say making deliberate gameplay decisions such as safe strats in order to make your gameplay more natural and consistent. So a lot of that is not actually in the middle of the run. You would never do that in the middle of the run. That's mostly not up to you, and it's mostly not gonna do anything. The whole point is to practice and prepare more consistent, safer, reliable, but the key word is more natural strategies. So they're not slower necessarily, and I think that's a big issue. Let's look at speedrunning specifically. The whole point is to not be slower and then therefore more consistent. That's not the goal. That's not the epitome of gameplay. you want to get faster. You want to speed your gameplay up. The thing is, if you pick strategies that are not natural and you keep trying to force them, you'll never succeed in doing them. And then so therefore, even if they're technically faster, they don't actually end up being faster because you never actually successfully execute them. So the whole point is to stop doing strats that you can't execute on, that are inconsistent, that you're not confident in, which would be natural stuff, and instead do natural gameplay strategies, stuff that you actually can reliably do, so that in runs you actually execute them. The whole trick of this is that it's faster. It's faster. It's also more consistent, but it's faster. That's the peak of it, and that's how it works in speedrunning. So a lot of people say, I need to be more consistent, I want to value consistency, and I'll sacrifice some speed for my consistency. I don't think that's a good thing. I don't think you should sacrifice speed for consistency, because consistency is not valuable in speedrunning. Maybe in a very important run, you do sacrifice some of your speed for consistency. Like, that's fine, that's different, but generally in a run, you would never do that. And the whole reason why you would sacrifice speed in that sense is because you're not confident you can do it, or you can't do it. You're not really sacrificing speed. If you mess something up, it's not faster. So that's kind of the whole point of natural gameplay. So a guy named Banana Naki, he says some stuff about Ninja restreaming the Smash tournament, and he says, whatever, I don't think it's that big of a deal, and probably helped them out. And yeah, I would have to agree generally. I think the Ninja streaming the Smash tournament, it only gave them viewers. It was actually pretty interactive, and I feel like a lot of Ninja's audience is not going to watch him if he's not playing Fortnite. So it's like, since he was at least on camera and talking, it made his super normie audience that's has no idea what Melee is, it made them a little bit more engaged. So I don't think it was wrong. Like, I think if Ninja just hosted the event, he would have had a lot less viewers and they would have been less engaged. So I think that restreaming the event was probably better on like every technical viewpoint, like every numerical viewpoint. It was probably better, except for viewers on the tournament stream, right? That had for sure less viewers because of Ninja restreaming the event. The problem, even for me, the big problem is that like this sets a bad precedent, because restreaming is actually against Twitch terms of service, as far as I understand. And he specifically had permission by the Twitch staff, but that was not conveyed. That was not clear. And a lot of his audience is like really young kids and really normie. And it kind of is this thing now. It's like, okay, I guess it's fine to restream events. Nobody really cares. Or restream other streams, even though pretty sure it's actually against Twitch terms of service. Okay, yeah, I even found a Reddit link, and they basically, multiple people say it is against the rules unless you have permission. So I don't think it really mattered much or did anything, but I'm curious. I think it's interesting. So Bundle64, he said, since subscribing and joining the WQ Army, you know, guys, you know who we are. I've lost 15 pounds, grown my Twitch channel, almost affiliate, and now I feel like an alpha gamer every day. That's pretty incredible, dude. You're almost an affiliate on Twitch. I think that if you stream a few more times, you can make that last push to get affiliate on Twitch. I think that's definitely going to shock and change the world. So guys, I actually ran a poll yesterday on Twitter trying to do more content on YouTube. It said, what do you guys want to see more of, edgy, serious, or meme content? And I actually, meme content won out by 5%, and it seems like serious content beat out edgy content, which I'm surprised by, because I actually thought my serious content was the worst content I produced, and I really like my edgy content, but it looks like meme content won out. Now, they were pretty close, but this pulled 185 votes, which is pretty good, because I only have 750 Twitter followers, so having a fourth of my Twitter followers vote in poll, that's actually really good. Like, most Twitter followers are completely dead, or they don't even get your tweets because of Twitter's algorithm, so that's actually like really incredible. But yeah, I want to talk again about this problem of natural gameplay, because the thing about natural gameplay is it actually talks about this problem called ego, where the thing about ego is that if you try to fix ego, that is ego, and so you create ego, so you can't directly fix ego. So that's the whole point about trying to force a strategy. If you try to force something, basically that is ego. So if you try to force yourself to not force something, that's still ego, so it doesn't accomplish anything. It's a waste of time. So the main solution, the main fix of this, and the whole point of natural gameplay is to actually change what you believe in and change your beliefs so that you can do things that are more reliable or better that you didn't previously believe are better. And so the crux of that is you have to actually find a reason why to believe it's better. So if you practice the game a lot and you figure out something's faster than it was previously and it's easier, well, if it's faster and it's easier, obviously it's better, right? So that strategy is more, not only is it more natural, but it's also very easy to believe in. And so what happens is you go into a run and immediately you can do it. You can execute on it. So if I tell you to do a strat A and strat B and strat C, and you're like, okay, great, and you're going to go into a run, do these strats, and you're going to win, that's not going to happen at all because you don't believe in the strats I say and you think you believe in them, right? So you're checking yourself. There's the ego aspect. So you have to overcome that ego aspect. And if the strats I'm telling you do really are better, then what's going to happen is you're going to be able to find real reasons why they're better. And then using those reasons, you're going to be able to execute on those real strategies and you're going to overcome ego. So primarily, you would need a real reason for something that's more consistent or more reliable to be better. And that's why I was actually arguing earlier, it's not necessarily more consistent. It's actually faster. It's actually a faster strategy. Your gameplay actually speeds up. Your gameplay actually improves. And so what happens is you start perceiving a more natural, aka more reliable, more stable strategy. You start perceiving that as actually faster and then therefore better. And then you go into a run and you want to execute on that. You want to do it because it's actually better. So that's how natural gameplay works. So if you don't speedrun or you playing a different game, it's the same functional scale of better and worse. Like you have more consistent, but more consistent doesn't mean it's better. Then you have a scale of it being better, and in a speedrun, faster is functionally better, right? So in a speedrun, I just argue it's faster. But in a game like a fighting game or a game like Super Smash Bros. Melee, where there is no speed variable, it's all about what is better, what is technically better. And Melee is a very complex game. I actually argue what's better or worse comes down to how natural it is, and then how much you can get out of how natural it is. So this does start to become very complex. There's a lot of opinion that goes into it. There's a lot of personal understanding that goes into it. And ultimately what comes out of this is your own personality and your own character starts to play out in the gameplay. As you get better at Melee, more of you starts to be put into your gameplay, and your gameplay looks more like a representation of you, but that only happens if you get better at the game. So that's actually the true purpose and nature of natural gameplay. What this essentially breaks down to and means is that if a strategy is recreatable, that recreatability has inherent value that should be factored in when you're trying to find the best strategy. And by recreatable, I mean 100% recreatable and 100% tangible. You have absolute control over it. That is a unique factor to a strategy, to gameplay, that has high value that should be considered when you're trying to find the best strategy. Natural gameplay is almost 100% belief systems, what you believe in, using what you believe in, figuring out what you believe in, and optimizing gameplay, whatever your gameplay system is, optimizing gameplay around those belief systems. Anyway, guys, I hope that was insightful. I'm going to talk more stuff about that in the future because it's some really interesting stuff. So I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Also, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, guys, make sure to buy my t-shirts and you become an alpha gamer, guys, and we're going to change the world and really start a real gameplay revolution. Anyway, guys, I'll see you later.